All right, let's just get right into it. For decades, the way we've built software has followed a pretty rigid, predictable pattern, right? You've got your applications, your databases, your APIs, and your user interfaces. It's safe, it's stable, but right now, we're sitting at the absolute edge of a massive disruption. AI isn't just some cool new feature you can just bolt onto an existing app anymore. It is literally replacing the DNA of software design. Welcome to this explainer on the rise of intelligence-centric software architecture.
So we really need to reframe our mental models here. Think about traditional applications for a second. They are fundamentally deterministic. It's kind of like a complex machine with interlocking gears. As developers, we explicitly define the rules, the logic paths, the exact workflows. When a user clicks submit, the app executes a hard-coded set of instructions. It's 100% predictable. But AI-native systems, completely different story. They operate through probabilistic reasoning. They act a lot more like a digital brain, dynamically interpreting context, adapting on the fly, and coordinating autonomously. The output isn't fully predefined, which honestly makes it a completely different beast to build and manage.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The architectural shift. 2. Context, memory, and RAG. 3. Agents and orchestration. 4. State and system observability. And finally, 5. The future of software. Let's do this. Section 1. The architectural shift.
Okay, the absolute crucial concept to grasp here is intelligence-centric architecture. We are officially no longer application-centric. This is a completely new category of software design. Instead of just blindly executing hard-coded, predefined workflow logic, this new type of software actually coordinates adaptive intelligence. And why does this matter to you? Well, moving from blind execution to adaptive intelligence means your software can now solve highly dynamic problems that it was never explicitly programmed for. I mean, think about that. It's not just a minor system upgrade, it's a foundational, ground-up shift in how software operates in the real world.
Moving on to Section 2. Context, memory, and RAG. Think about the evolution of storage. Traditional software is essentially a static filing cabinet, right? It just holds your static data and sits there waiting for structured inputs. AI-native systems, on the other hand, require intelligent memory. And this isn't just about storing facts in rows and columns, it's about contextual cognition. By using things like vector databases, semantic retrieval systems, and episodic memory layers, the system is constantly trying to figure out what information actually matters in real time. The memory layer itself literally becomes an active, intelligent participant in the computing process. And of course, this brings us directly to RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. Traditional apps rigidly separate their data storage from their application logic. RAG changes the game by introducing dynamic semantic retrieval right in the middle of the reasoning process. Actually, a good way to think of it is like taking an exam. Instead of relying purely on rote memorization, which is what a basic LLM does, RAG gives the AI an open book test. It allows the application to continuously pull in external, highly up-to-date knowledge while it's forming an answer. It creates this live, breathing contextual intelligence. Section 3. Agents and orchestration. Now, a composable intelligence architecture proves that the large language model itself is really just one piece of the puzzle. It's the engine, but not the whole car. You combine your LLMs for reasoning with retrieval systems for grounding. Then you snap in agents for execution, graphs for orchestration, memory systems for continuity, and various tools for operational interaction. All these highly composable pieces just interlock to form the modern AI system. It's this beautiful, cohesive architecture built entirely from specialized parts. Because of this, we really have to shift our perspective on execution. Predefined workflows, they are like a house stuck on a train track, totally locked into rigid linear logic paths and isolated feature bundles. Where we're going is reasoning orchestration. Applications are quickly becoming continuous orchestration environments. It's much more like managing a swarm of independent drones, where multiple agents dynamically coordinate tools, models, and memory systems all at the same time to achieve a specific goal.
So, imagine a real-world enterprise scenario. You tell the system, investigate declining operational efficiency. Now, a traditional linear workflow would break down immediately because it literally doesn't know exactly what to look for. But an AI orchestration graph, it handles it dynamically. Step 1, it retrieves telemetry. Step 2, it coordinates specialized agents based on that data. Step 3, it runs analysis pipelines. And it keeps going, querying APIs, generating forecasts, adapting on the fly. It is a fluid, branching workflow that actually mimics how a human would solve a complex problem.
Which leads us to Section 4, State and System Observability.
Traditional web applications have a massive advantage in simplicity because, frankly, they have the memory of a goldfish. They just wipe the slate clean between requests. You ask for a web page, it serves it, and it totally forgets you ever existed. But AI-native systems? They require persistent state. They absolutely must maintain a continuous reasoning history, a memory lineage, and persistent workflow continuity to function effectively. Orchestrating all of that state over time requires an entirely new breed of operational infrastructure.
And here is exactly why maintaining that state is so vital. Imagine your AI workflow produces a bad output. How do you even begin to debug it? You can't just trace code line by line anymore. You have to ask a bunch of crazy new questions. Was the semantic retrieval incorrect? Did the memory layer contain stale information? Did an agent just hallucinate and choose the wrong tool? Did reasoning drift occur mid-task? Traditional debugging completely falls apart here. And that is exactly why the industry desperately needs new tools like reasoning tracing and workflow replay.
Finally, Section 5, the future of software. So zooming out a bit, one of the most fascinating shifts is happening right at the user interface level. Traditional UX revolves entirely around manual navigation, clicking through endless layers of menus, staring at screens, tweaking dashboards. But AI-native interaction revolves entirely around intent. You simply express your goal to the system, like telling it to hit a bullseye, and the system dynamically coordinates the how to achieve it. This means the traditional graphical interface as we know it might shrink drastically, or honestly disappear entirely in some applications, replaced by these seamless, intent-driven commands.
When we pull back and synthesize this entire stack evolution, the paradigm shift is just undeniable. Look at the foundation layer. We are evolving from raw computation and storage to contextual reasoning. Up at the logic layer, we're leaving explicit rules behind in favor of agents and graphs. Interaction is moving from menus and screens over to intent and goals. And the ultimate engineering focus? It shifts from traditional application development to building true intelligence architecture. I can't stress this enough. AI isn't just an add-on. It is a fundamentally different computing paradigm across every single layer of the stack.
And all of this leads to a pretty mind-blowing concept. The architecture increasingly resembles distributed cognition. Modern software systems are starting to look way less like calculators and way more like highly functional human organizations. You've got specialized agents, shared memory, and communication layers all acting as these artificial minds working together to execute incredibly complex goals.
So here's the provocative question I want to leave you all with today. Will you simply keep trying to build better legacy applications? Or will you step up and engineer the distributed cognitive infrastructure of the next decade? Because the paradigm has officially shifted, and the winners in this space won't just be building neat features. They're going to be building adaptive, reasoning-based systems. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this completely changes how you look at the software you're sitting down to build tomorrow. See you next time.